What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, and today's video is just going to be a real quick overview of my .5 Slipknot collection. Just wanted to show that off, give you guys some updates, and let you know what's coming in the future. But before we get into that, I did want to give a real quick shout out to a very small part of my audience. This one's going out to all my homosexual fans. I didn't realize that there were so many gay dudes that watched these, but it seems like every time I post one of these videos, I get a comment about my haircut. And it seems like a lot of you guys want me to cut it. And the only thing that I can think is that you'd be far more attracted to me if I got rid of this mullet. So while I do decline your offer, very respectfully, to cut my hair to fulfill your sexual desires, I will let you know that I stand with you. It's 2018 and people need to be more open-minded. So to all my gay fans out there, much love. I got a fancy hairdo in this video, just for you guys. Moving on, I'd like to ask you guys today's question. As you may or may not know, the last few videos, questions have been based on breakfast foods. We had waffles versus pancakes, and waffles won. Then we had waffles versus French toast, and French toast won. And today, the ultimate breakfast showdown. French toast versus crepes. So for today's question, it is the AJ Good's House of Masks ultimate breakfast showdown. French toast versus crepes. Let me know down in the comments which you prefer. I've got to go with French toast. I just feel like I eat it more and I enjoy eating it more. Although IHOP does offer some strawberries and cream crepes that I absolutely love, I still think that I get French toast just as much when I go there. So let me know down in the comments, French toast versus crepes, and let's get on with this update. Now, as you can see, I am standing in front of my small little .5 set. We've got the Closet of Doom. And basically what I did was I had a closet in what was going to be a small collection room. I took the doors off and added some shelves, and that's where all my .5 stuff is. So I'm going to give you guys an update on all this stuff, let you know about some giveaways, let you know about some new arrivals, and some stuff that I plan to get in the future. So let's get on with it. Alright, so today we are going to be covering my .5 set. Been wanting to make a video on just my .5 stuff for a while because I actually do have a pretty impressive .5 collection in my opinion. I don't think there's anyone else out there that really has a set that's this dedicated to .5. I do feel some sort of weird connection to .5 as an era. It is definitely the era that got me back into Slipknot. Not that I ever stopped paying attention, I just kind of was like man with Volume 3 and then with AHIG. And I know that a lot of real life maggots out there are going to tell me that I'm wrong and that those are some of Slipknot's best albums, but they're really not.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I feel like .5 brought back the spirit of Slipknot, and I mean that in a lot of different ways. The first two albums always had atmosphere. There was weird noises, the looks matched up a lot, even just the lighting and the stage presence of each member. And I feel like that was all kind of lost when they went to Volume 3 and All Hope Is Gone, especially All Hope Is Gone. And as soon as .5 came out, I had a feeling that there was going to be a lot of atmosphere, and I mean that as in the noises that they used, the lighting that they used, the experimenting with the members, how everybody smeared face paint on their stuff, and they were switching masks pretty frequently. I really dug something about that. Even just the look of the jumpsuits, I feel like the collar that they chose was awesome, and the fact that everybody had a close to matching piece just with some little accessories of their own. It really makes me appreciate the jumpsuits. So between the atmosphere and the fact that I did get to see Slipknot twice on this album cycle, and I got to have some really cool Slipknot experiences like meeting Jay, hanging out with Corey and getting to interview him, and a lot of recognition from the band online, I also really do genuinely enjoy most of the music on the album. I feel like it brought back that Slipknot feel. I feel like a big reason for that is because of Jay. He definitely brought something new, young, energetic, he was a fan of Slipknot, so it made sense for him to come in and act like a Slipknot member, the way that we all fell in love with Slipknot, which was obviously the self-titled and Iowa era. He grew up on that shit the same way that we did, so I feel like he had an appreciation for it and an eye that would just set him right into that character, and I feel like he nailed it. So I think a big thanks needs to go to Jay for kind of waking the band up. But enough about talking about the album, I want to talk about my mask collection. Starting with my Jay Weinberg masks. I have two of these here from Walter QP. You guys probably remember those from when I unboxed them. Also, I'm sorry that my shelves are really dusty. I don't really do much in this room, so I haven't gotten around to cleaning the shelves recently. But Jay Weinberg masks. I have these two from Walter. I haven't done anything to them. Eventually, I would like to send these two off to have rehauled, just made a little bit more accurate, although I do love the way this looks. It is not the way that Jay's actually looked. Pretty similar, but not exact, so I want to have those two sent off, and I actually have another blank that I would like to have finished into an early album look where he still had all of the burlap on the mask and stuff. So those will probably be getting done sometime in the future. Not a priority right now, but I do want to have that done in the future. I have my V-Man masks over here, which are all pretty much complete. I'm definitely happy with all of those. As you can see, we got the early album cycle here. We have a random version that he used for the cover of a magazine that I actually really like because he just smeared face paint on it. I think that's a very early era Slipknot thing to do, so I dig it. And then we've got his V2 over there, and that one's fine. That one's absolutely perfect. It's the correct color. It's a fantastic sculpt and all that. Got a gym over there, not doing anything with that. That is pretty much done. Here we have all of my Corys, and I need one more version. So I'm looking to add another version of the first masks that he wore on the cycle. I'm actually just missing the Joker version. So when he started to add a bunch of face paint and stuff to his masks, he actually did one that looked pretty similar to this one, but it had red lipstick stuff smeared all around, so it was just dubbed the Joker version because obviously it looked like Heath Ledger's Joker, and that is the last version I need for this. And we've got everything from the one that still had the lips. Looks really fucking goofy, by the way. It's no wonder he cut those lips off. We've got the lipless version, which definitely looks like silicone, even though it's not. I don't know how well you guys can see the shine on the mask there. Then we've got the weird face paint versions, and eventually we have the second version of his mask, which was sculpted by another artist later on. That one looks kind of goofy on the head. I don't know why it looks like the mouth sticks out so much, but it really doesn't. So I'm gonna have to probably put that on a different display. That is just the underneath. I actually do have both pieces of the top. They're just kind of hiding back there in the darkness. So yeah, the Corys are close to finished, and I'm stoked on that because I definitely dig Cory on that album. Down here we have the Chris masks. We've got the green one here, which I guess was used in The Devil and I, and that's why it's on the shelf. I just don't really have an All Hope Is Gone collection, so even though I don't really consider this a 0.5 mask, I don't have anywhere to put it with any All Hope Is Gone stuff, and this was used in the Devil and I music video, so that is why it's here. We have my chrome version made by Joey Fabricius. I am one of the lucky few that got one of these, and I definitely love this fucking mask. One of my favorites in the collection. Over here we have my 0.5 Sid made by Bob Bassett. That means it is authentic. It wasn't worn on stage or anything, but it was definitely made by the same guy that made Sid's, and I am super stoked for that. This one also needs dusted. You never realize how dusty stuff is until you bring your fucking filming lights in here. But anyways, real 0.5 Sid, no mouthpiece. I kind of want to get a mouthpiece just for display, even though I like when Sid had his mouthpiece out and you could see his grill better than when he was wearing it with the mouthpiece, but it is what it is. I might hit up Bob Bassett and ask how much it would cost to just have the mouthpiece mailed to me. Here we have my 0.5 mic. This was made by Ron Sambile, and it is a solid copy. I don't really think that I need to do anything else with it because it looks good, and I don't really think that he had any other versions that I need to get, so that one is what it is. Down here we have my clown collection, and just a special announcement.
Drum roll, please.
I am going to be doing a giveaway with that clown and that clown in coordinates with Paul Vick, aka Perfect Ugly on Instagram, who made all 4 of these masks. And I have one other version that I need that Clown never actually wore, so I'm going to be hitting him up to have him make me one of those. But we are going to be giving these away, so these 2 are leaving the collection. And if you guys would like to get in on that, then you need to be paying attention on Instagram, because details will be coming soon. So like I said, Paul Vick made all these, and I love them very much. And I feel like they were heavily inspired by the Nomad Project, so it's even more special to me that Clown did this. Next up, we have this 0.5 Clown that was done by Drop Bear Studios, who I actually have a good bit of work coming from in the future. So make sure to check back for that stuff. I'm actually really excited to see what he's done for me. This was the mask that I saw live in Cincinnati back in 2016, and I hated most of the masks the Clown wore, but this one was actually pretty fucking rad. So I contacted Daniel whenever he got the sculpt done after I sent him reference photos of my real 0.5 Clown and asked him if he would make me one of these, and he did, and knocked it out of the park. Definitely stoked on it. It's just a weird tribal, like smudgy face paint with some crazy tribe hair there. I don't really know what's going on, but I actually do really dig it, so there's that one. And then last but not least, we have my real 0.5 Clown. As you guys may or may not know by now, this actually came from the Real Deal mold. And I had it finished just black, which is the exact way the Clown received his. And he would just paint them every night before a show, or knock a couple out in bulk, whatever you would want. But they're just plasti dipped black, and this is how they come. And I need to get him behind glass, but for right now, he is just sitting in the shelf with the rest of the 0.5s. So that is just a real quick overview of the masks that are in the collection right now. So this is what we're working with. But as for updates. I do have some things on the way. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be working with Drop Bear Studios on some stuff to start to fill out this collection a little bit better. I'm going to be having Daniel at Drop Bear do me a bunch of .5 Chris's, pretty much any that I can get my hands on, because Chris actually did use quite a few versions on this era, and I would like to fill out that set sooner than later. I would also like to have him do some Volume 3 Chris's for me if possible. And I do have a box on the way from him right now, but it's Iowa era stuff. And while I'm super excited for that shit, it doesn't pertain to .5, so we won't really talk about it in this video. You'll just have to wait to see it. I'm actively trying to find someone to buy secondhand from for a Samuel Dean Corey so I can do the Joker version. I will be doing a tutorial video on that whenever it comes in. I just need to find one for the right price. The Jay Weinberg masks, as I mentioned earlier, I would like to get a couple different versions of those just to pretty much cover all the bases when it comes to Jay masks. And as I mentioned earlier, the clowns, I am going to be having Paul Vick replace the two that I'm giving away. We're working together on that one, so I'm going to have some new copies coming from that, and I would like to have him make this version that I don't think most people know about because Clown never actually wore it. I just happen to have a backstage photo of it chilling with the rest of the masks. And if I can get my hands on another All Hope Is Gone Craig blank and have it converted into a .5, because unfortunately I sold my blank. Joey Fabricius had started doing work on it, but when it came to the nails, I was just lazy, honestly, and then I went through that weird spell where I sold stuff, and that was one of the pieces that I sold. So if I can get another one of those, knock it out, and then commit to the nails and actually get those done, I will have one mask from each member, at least for the .5 era, which is all you need for some of them, like Mick or Craig. And that'll be it for the .5 set. I will be able to close the chapter on the .5 set and kind of focus on some other stuff. Maybe try to get back what I sold when I was being a fucking idiot, and I really lost out on some nice Jim Root masks there, so I need to beg Joey Fabricius to do some more work for me. Try to focus on self-titled in Iowa, and then eventually work my way into Volume 3, start knocking some of those out. But by then, Slipknot's gonna have a new album out, and there'll be a completely different set of masks to start worrying about, so I'm not complaining because it keeps things interesting and it gives me something to do, and I'm having more fun with this stuff right now than I ever have before, so here's to the new Slipknot album. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Stay tuned for updates, and we will see you next time.